Hello everyone, this is Christian and welcome to On-Prem versus Cloud. This video we are going to talk about self-proof token. So in the last video we discussed about how a bulk registration token works. And in this video we are going to talk about self-proof token. So what is a self-proof token? Self-proof token is also a kind of a pre-authentication token that devices can use to pre-authenticate themselves to the on-prem site. And a device gets a self-proof token once it gets registered to the site via the cloud management gateway. So self-proof token is basically issued to a device when we use bulk registration token so that we can install the SCCM client on the device and we can make it register to the site. So once the device gets registered, the management point issues a self-proof token to the device. And what is the work of a self-proof token? So it's also similar to any other pre-authentication token. It's just that it's also temporary. Um, a self-proof token is also a temporary token. Uh, a device can, once the device gets registered to the site, it can carry that self-proof token to the on-prem site via the cloud management gateway to pre-authenticate itself again. And then a regular CCM token is issued to the device so that for further communications, the device can use the CCM token. So, and within the whole bulk registration token process, for the installation of client and for the registration of the device to the site, it uses bulk registration token. And once the registration completes, the device is issued a self-proof token, and using that self-proof token, the device reaches out one more time to the on-prem site via the cloud management gateway, and a CCM token is issued to it. And for further regular communications with the on-prem site via the cloud management gateway, the client uses that CCM token. So this is it for self-proof token. Uh, nothing special about it. It's just that how do we differentiate whether a device is using a bulk registration token or whether it's using a CCM token or sorry, not CCM, a self-proof token or whether it's using an AAD token to pre-authenticate itself? We can clearly see that in ccmsts.log on the management point. When the pre-authentication request reaches to this management point, within the ccmsts.log file, we can see entries wherein while trying to issue a CCM token to the device, we can clearly see that it shows what kind of pre-authentication token was applied by the device, whether it was a bulk registration token, whether it was a self-proof token, or whether it was an AAD token. So we can clearly see that. And I want to cover a little bit about self-signed certificates authentication in the same video. So we talked about the bulk registration token, we talked about self-proof token. Now how devices authenticate or how the devices talk to my on-prem site via the cloud management gateway uh, when they don't have a PKI certificate, when they are not joined to an Entra tenant, and we don't want to use a bulk registration token either. Okay, so there is a little difference between the process of bulk registration token and self-signed certificate. Self-signed certificate basically means that we are first of all registering the device internally first. So in bulk registration token, you saw that the device is already on internet. It does not have a PKI certificate. It does not have an AD token because it's not joined to an intra tenant, and it does not have the SSCM client either. Um, and the device was on internet. but we wanted to leverage bulk registration token that enabled us to install the SCCM client on this internet device. But let's say if I don't want to use bulk registration token either, or there is a limitation that I cannot go with that option. The other thing that I can do is using self-signed certificate. I can make the device communicate to the on-prem site via the cloud management gateway using self-signed certificate. But the basic requirement is that during the client installation and registration, I will have to ensure that the device is on my intranet. So this is my on-prem site and this is my intranet. Okay, and my let's say this is my CMG connection point, this is my management point. Let me label them. And this is my CMG hosted on Azure, and this is my device. As of now, it's an intranet device, so I'm just labeling it as intranet because in order to be able to use self-signed certificates for CMG communications, I need to ensure that the device is first present on my intranet. It's present on my local company network. So let's say I have a device that's on a company network. It does not have a PKI certificate. It is not an intra-tenant join machine either. And I don't want to go via the bulk registration token method either. So I can normally push an SCCM client to this device. I can either use the command line method, or maybe um, I can use the any other method for client installation. There are various methods for SCCM client installation. Okay, so I can use any other method as well. Um, and as soon as the client installation completes and the device gets internally registered to the site, okay, uh, a CCM token is issued to this device, and then after the registration and approval completes, then I can take out this device from my intranet and I can use it over the internet. So initially I have to keep the device on my intranet, which is my intranetwork. And once the client installation and registration completes, a token is issued to the device by the management point, which it can use for further communications with my on-prem site, even if it is on internet. So I can take this device out of my company network after the registration completes, and then I can use the same device over the internet as well. And then using that CCM token that gets issued to this device, when it was on intranet, it can talk to my on-prem site via the cloud management gateway. Okay. The only prerequisite in this scenario is that the certificate that we use for CMG, okay, I haven't covered CMG creation so far, and um, but if you're already aware how we create a cloud management gateway in SCCM, you must be aware that we use a certificate, a server authentication certificate that we bind to our cloud management gateway. Okay, so it can either be an internal PKI issued certificate or it can be a third party issued certificate. So if in case it's a third party issued certificate, the the issuer, the certificate issuer of that third-party certificate must be present in the trusted root certificate store of this device that I want to be able to communicate to my on-prem site via the cloud management gateway. Okay. And if I am using a PKI certificate, I need to ensure that the root certification authority uh, that issued the server authentication certificate for this cloud management gateway, that root CA is present in the trusted root store of this device. Okay, and then only it will be able to communicate with the CMG, the cloud management gateway. So I think this is it. Uh, so you can see that for every scenario we have um we have a different method using which I can make the device to be able to communicate with the cloud management gateway. Okay, there is one more catch here, um, that if your management point is configured on HTTP, then this can normally work as I have explained so far. Okay, that is, first you'll have to keep the device on intranet, and then once the installation happens and once the device gets registered to the site, um, I can take the device out of my network and I can use it over the internet as well via the CMG. But if the management point is configured on HTTPS, then I need to make sure that my device has a PKI certificate issued to it. Then in that scenario, I won't be able to use a self-signed certificate alone to, to make the device be able to communicate to the site via the cloud management gateway. So if the device is on internet and it needs to talk to my management point that is running on HTTPS, then it needs to have a PKI certificate, or it needs to be Entra tenant joined, or I need to install client using bulk registration token. Okay. All right. So this is it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and we can discuss in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.